Hey everyone, today we are going to talk about the 7 dimensions of existence, and by understanding these 7 dimensions, we can have a deeper appreciation of our place in this universe. So let's get started. No. 1 is the physical dimension. This is the dimension that we are most familiar with. It's the dimension of height, width, and depth. In this dimension, we can touch, feel, smell, hear, and see. We can measure length, width, and depth. The physical dimension is the dimension of our body. It's the dimension of our world. For example, when we go shopping, we are measuring things in terms of their physical dimensions. If we want to buy a new dress, we will look at the tag to see what the bust, waist, and hip measurements are. If we want to buy a new car, we will look at the specifications to see how long, wide, and tall it is. The physical dimension is the dimension of our everyday life. It's the dimension that we interact with the most, but it's also the dimension that we take for granted the most. We forget that there are other dimensions beyond the physical dimension. No. 2 is the emotional dimension. The emotional dimension is the dimension of our feelings. It's the dimension of love, hate, joy, sadness, anger, and fear. In this dimension, we don't need to measure anything. We just need to feel. The emotional dimension is the dimension of our heart. It's the dimension of our soul. When we are in love, we don't need to know how much love we have. We just need to feel it. When we are sad, we don't need to know how much sadness we have. We just need to feel it. The emotional dimension is the dimension of our connection to others. It's the dimension of our empathy and compassion. But many of us have become disconnected from our emotional dimension. We have been taught to suppress our emotions or to express them in unhealthy ways. We have been taught that emotions are bad and that we should focus on the physical dimension instead. But emotions are not bad. Emotions are good. Emotions are healthy. Emotions are what make us human. No. 3 is the mental dimension. The mental dimension is the dimension of our mind. It's the dimension of our thoughts, beliefs, and values. In this dimension, we can think and reason. We can plan and strategize. We can create and innovate. The mental dimension is the dimension of our potential. It's the dimension of our creativity and imagination. But many of us have become disconnected from our mental dimension. We have been taught to think in a certain way, to believe in certain things, to value certain things over others. We have been taught that certain thoughts are bad and that we should focus on the physical dimension instead. But thoughts are not bad. Thoughts are good. Thoughts are healthy. Thoughts are what make us intelligent. No. 4 is the intuitive dimension. The intuitive dimension is the dimension of our gut feelings. It's the dimension of our instincts. In this dimension, we don't need to think or reason. We just need to feel. The intuitive dimension is the dimension of our connection to the universe. It's the dimension of our spirituality. But many of us have become disconnected from our intuitive dimension. We have been taught to ignore our gut feelings or to follow our head knowledge instead. We have been taught that intuition is bad and that we should focus on the physical dimension instead. But intuition is not bad. Intuition is good. Intuition is healthy. Intuition is what makes us wise. Number 5 is the spiritual dimension. The spiritual dimension is the dimension of our soul. It's the dimension of our connection to something greater than ourselves. In this dimension, we can connect with our purpose and meaning. We can find peace and happiness. The spiritual dimension is the dimension of our growth and evolution. It's the dimension of our potential for greatness. But many of us have become disconnected from our spiritual dimension. We have been taught that spirituality is bad and that we should focus on the physical dimension instead. But spirituality is not bad. Spirituality is good. Spirituality is healthy. Spirituality is what makes us complete. Number 6 is the temporal dimension. The temporal dimension is the dimension of time. It's the dimension of past, present, and future. In this dimension, we can remember and we can hope. The temporal dimension is the dimension of our experiences. It's the dimension of our memories and our dreams. It's the dimension of our history and our potential. But many of us have become disconnected from the temporal dimension. We have been taught that time is bad and that we should focus on the physical dimension instead. But time is not bad. Time is good. Time is healthy. Time is what makes us who we are. Number 7 is the transpersonal dimension. The transpersonal dimension is the dimension beyond our ego. It's the dimension of our connection to all beings. In this dimension, we can see beyond our own needs and desires. We can see the needs and desires of others. We can feel the pain and suffering of others. and we can feel the joy and happiness of others. The transpersonal dimension is the dimension of our compassion and empathy. It's the dimension of our unconditional love. It's the dimension of our connection to the divine. In this dimension, we are one with all beings. We are one with the universe. Many of us have become disconnected from the transpersonal dimension, but it's possible to reconnect with it through meditation, through prayer, through service to others. When we do, we experience a deep sense of peace and oneness with all beings. So these are the 7 dimensions of existence. Most of us have been disconnected from the lower 5 dimensions in favor of the physical dimension. But all 7 dimensions are important, and we need to reconnect with them if we want to live a more balanced and fulfilling life. Now, let's look at each of the 7 dimensions and see how we can reconnect with them. No. 1 is the physical dimension. To reconnect with the physical dimension, we need to start by appreciating our body. Our body is amazing. It's capable of so much. It allows us to experience the physical world around us. It allows us to interact with others. It allows us to create and innovate. Let's take some time each day to appreciate our body, to care for our body, to move our body. When we do, we reconnect with the physical dimension. No, 2 is the emotional dimension. To reconnect with the emotional dimension, we need to start by feeling our emotions. Our emotions are amazing. They allow us to connect with others. They allow us to empathize and have compassion. They allow us to love. Let's take some time each day to feel our emotions, to process our emotions, to express our emotions in healthy ways. When we do, we reconnect with the emotional dimension. No. 3 is the mental dimension. To reconnect with the mental dimension, we need to start by thinking positive thoughts. Our thoughts are amazing. They allow us to problem solve. They allow us to create and innovate. They allow us to dream. Let's take some time each day to think positive thoughts, to challenge our negative thoughts, to focus on solutions instead of problems. When we do, we reconnect with the mental dimension. No. 4 is the intuitive dimension. To reconnect with the intuitive dimension, we need to start by listening to our gut. Our intuition is amazing. It allows us to connect with the universe. It allows us to have a sense of knowing without knowing. It allows us to be wise. Let's take some time each day to listen to our intuition, to quiet our mind, to connect with the stillness within. When we do, we reconnect with the intuitive dimension. Number 5 is the spiritual dimension. To reconnect with the spiritual dimension, we need to start by connecting with our purpose. Our purpose is amazing. It gives us direction. It gives us meaning and value. It gives us hope. Let's take some time each day to connect with our purpose, to pray, to meditate, to serve others. When we do, we reconnect with the spiritual dimension. No. 6 is the temporal dimension. To reconnect with the temporal dimension, we need to start by living in the present moment. The present moment is amazing. It's all we have. It's all we ever had. It's all we ever will have. Let's take some time each day to appreciate the present moment, to savor the present moment, to live in the present moment. When we do, we reconnect with the temporal dimension. And no. 7 is the transpersonal dimension. To reconnect with the transpersonal dimension, we need to start by connecting with all beings. All beings are amazing. They are all connected. They are all interdependent. They are all part of the same family. Let's take some time each day to connect with all beings, to show kindness and compassion, to show love and understanding. When we do, we reconnect with the transpersonal dimension. So these are the 7 dimensions of existence, and these are the ways that we can reconnect with them. When we do, we experience a deep sense of peace and wholeness. We experience a deep sense of connection to ourselves, to others, and to the universe. We experience a deep sense of purpose and meaning, and we experience a deep sense of gratitude for the gift of life. Thank you for watching.